Why the Mars helicopters, like Ingenuity, could glow in the dark. There have been some incredible experiments that have graced the face of our space and our planets. But not many come close to the one we'll be discussing today. It's probably one of the most genius projects that NASA has developed in recent times, and this project will be around for a long time. This isn't just an essential piece of the puzzle to the Mars mission, but we need to decide whether or not Mars could be a place we could inhabit in the future. We are presenting to you Ingenuity. What is it? The Ingenuity is a small helicopter operating on the planet Mars as part of the NASA 2020 mission alongside the Perseverance rover, which landed on the Red Planet on February 18, 2021. After 2 months only, the Ingenuity successfully managed to complete the first powered, controlled extraterrestrial flight by an aircraft after it managed to take off vertically as it hovered and landed for only 39 seconds. Ever since the last records of this helicopter were taken, it had managed to make 19 flights successfully. The Ingenuity has been built by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, and other sectors of NASA that can now look back on this masterpiece with great pride. Ingenuity traveled to Mars after being attached to the underside of the Perseverance, which managed to touch down at the Octavia E. Butler landing site in Jezero crater on February 18, 2021. This was the first flight carried out by this helicopter, with other flights being carried out in the following months. Being heavy on performance, the Ingenuity also managed to take a piece of history with it onto the Red Planet. Ingenuity carries a piece of fabric from the wing of the 1903 Wright Flyer, the Wright brothers airplane. It's used in the first controlled, powered, heavier-than-air flight on Earth. Ingenuity's initial takeoff and landing area are named Wright Brothers Field as a tribute. Before Ingenuity came to being, the first flight of any planet which wasn't the Earth was carried out by a balloon flight on Venus, which was done by the Soviet Vega aircraft in 1985. At that time, nobody would have imagined that the Ingenuity would come to life in 2021. The design. Ingenuity features 4 specially made carbon fiber blades arranged 2 rotors that spin in opposite directions at around 2,400 RPM, many times faster than a passenger helicopter on Earth. It also has innovative solar cells, batteries, and other components. Ingenuity doesn't carry science instruments and is a separate experiment from the Mars 2020 Perseverance rover. The Ingenuity has 2 cameras on board, the downward-looking black-white navigation camera, and the color camera will make terrain images return to Earth. Although this is an aircraft overall, it was made to ensure acceleration and vibrations carried out during launch. It also includes radiation-resistant systems capable of operating in the environment of Mars. We're saying it's designed for Mars because Mars has an inconsistent magnetic field that precludes the use of a compass for navigation. Hence, it relies upon sensors inserted into it, which all sensors being commercial off-the-shelf units. The helicopter uses solar panels to recharge its batteries, which Sony has manufactured. The available power doesn't constrain flight duration, but the motors heat every second by 1 degree. The processing done inside the helicopter is done by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor having a Linux operating system. Among other functions, this other process manages to control the visual navigation algorithm using a velocity estimate derived from terrain features tracked with a navigation camera. This Qualcomm processor is connected by 2 flight control microcontroller units, which perform the necessary flight control functions. Then we finally have the telecommunication system, which is made up of 2 similar radios having monopole antenna that support the data exchange between the helicopter and the rover. This telecommunication system is built to relay data at 250 kbits with up to 1,000 meters. The antenna weighs 4 grams and can communicate in several directions. This is how this helicopter is built, and knowing these features in its design, we can already tell that its compact and minimal design enjoys a good time on Mars. Achievements of the Ingenuity. Moving on to the features of the Ingenuity, several features of this helicopter are worth praising. Number 1. Flight Tester. The Ingenuity is a flight testing helicopter known as a demonstration of the technology they're working on at NASA. It's a project that looks to test the new capabilities of machines which can perform optimally on another planet. Its flight test capabilities allow this helicopter to experiment on the land of Mars and relay the information obtained to Earth. Number 2. Controlled Flight. The Ingenuity is going to be the first aircraft that is going to attempt controlled flight on another planet. The Mars atmosphere is 99% less dense than the Earth, which is why this helicopter needs to be light, with larger rotor blades and those that spin faster than that of a regular helicopter. Flight controllers in the JPL don't control the Ingenuity with a joystick because it won't be as smooth as expected. Lags and stoppages are expected when working with interplanetary devices, and commands will need to be sent in advance because it will take time for the Ingenuity to respond to the commands fed to it. Having commands fed doesn't mean the Ingenuity won't make decisions by itself. This machine can fly to a waypoint to keep itself within the proper temperature range. Number 3. An engineering marvel. The Ingenuity has already proven itself to be an engineering marvel, because a series made this machine of careful steps from 2014 to 2019. JPL demonstrated that it was possible to build an aircraft that was lightweight, able to generate lift on Mars, and could survive on the Red Planet. When the first flight of the Ingenuity took place and everybody saw an actual helicopter making its way to Mars, that was when everyone realized that this marvel would stay out there for a good amount of time. Number 4. Milestones. There are many milestones that Ingenuity has managed to achieve. These include the launch from Cape Canaveral and the cruise to Mars. Not just the cruise, but the landing on Mars is also considered to be a massive milestone of the Ingenuity. It also managed to deploy to the surface from the belly of the Perseverance. It charged itself with a solar panel and kept itself warm through the cold nights on Mars. While these milestones completed and several more to go, Ingenuity has undoubtedly done its fair share of the work without a doubt. Number 5. Paving the way for other machines. Other robotics will also get a chance to come into the aerial space outside our atmosphere and make an impact. Right now, the Ingenuity is working on Mars tomorrow. Who knows? It might be another robotic machine working on the moon. The unpredictability of humans is unparalleled, and so nothing can be confirmed in this regard. But what we do know is that if the Ingenuity mission is successful, then other machines could turn up tomorrow to search from other lands that are habitable apart from our own. Glowing in the dark? As for a few milestones, or a new one rather, the Ingenuity hopes to achieve, it is having a feature where it can glow in the dark. These are electric currents flowing in the helicopter due to the flow of the planet. Although not a threat to the helicopter, these currents are, but if they do arise, then for the cameras nearby, it could make for a great photo. The faint glow would be the most visible during evening hours when the background sky is darker. Study lead author Bill Farrell, a plasma scientist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland. They might notice the effect on future Martian helicopters if they manage to get the chance. As the blades impact the grains, the charge is transferred, building upon the blades and creating an electric field, NASA said in the statement. As charge builds to high level, the atmosphere starts to conduct electricity, a process known as atmospheric breakdown. The process is creating a population of electrons that form an enhanced electric current that act to dissipate or offset the charge buildup on the rotorcraft. Several laboratory measurements and computer models believe that when Martian drones spin their blades, they manage to encounter dust grains from constant storms and dust devils on the surface of Mars. When these dust particles have electric currents passing through them, then that is when the glowing effect might occur. That's all we've had from the Ingenuity and its glowing effect that could also potentially be seen in aircraft used from space venture soon. If you like this video, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment on your favorite feature of Ingenuity. We'll see you again in another space-related video.